name is Fiifi, and today we are doing Grill the Priest with...
And I'm Father Francis. I'm a priest here in our diocese of Northampton, and particularly in Milton Keynes at the moment.
So,
of which Fiifi is one of our parishioners as well.
Indeed, yes. So we're just going to be asking Father Francis a few questions about the priesthood, about his faith, and just some general conversation stuff. So, Father Francis, first question. You can only eat one food for the rest of your life. Which one is it?
Gosh, one food. It couldn't be healthy. Anyway, it couldn't be very healthy. Father Brendan, who lives with me, he's become vegan lately.
Oh dear.
And so that means that anything that's full of meat and fat and things, I love at the moment. So it would have to be something like that, I think. But I can't. I shouldn't be on death row, I think, because I can't think of what it would be, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So, what would the name of your autobiography be? I know you're a massive public figure. Everyone knows you, so I mean, it has to be a good one.
Gosh, the pressure. I reckon, motorways, roundabouts and concrete cows.
That's a great summary of Milton Keynes as well.
Yeah. Motorways, roundabouts and concrete cows. When I was growing up, we lived in a caravan and we moved from place to place as they were building the motorways. And so I was born as the M1 went through Derbyshire. My brother was born as the M6 went through the Lake District, and we started going to school when the M4 went through Swansea, and we moved here when they were building the M25. So we kind of moved around. The thing about roundabout, Milton Keynes is about roundabouts, isn't it? Concrete cows. I was ordained here in Milton Keynes, and then was here in Bletchley for a bit, and then literally I think it's been a roundabout, and I've come back to here 3 years ago. So I guess there's roundabouts as well.
Yeah.
Motorways, roundabouts, concrete cows.
And Milton Keynes is definitely the best area you've done your...
Where else would it be? Where else would it be?
Of course, I wouldn't expect it to be anywhere else, honestly.
In fact, the best bit about it, when I was growing up here, the last girlfriend I had, she lived in Bletchley, and she lived in the house next door to the presbytery. And so when I moved back there, luckily she'd moved, but her parents were still there. And when she got married, then I did their wedding.
Oh, really?
So there you go. There's a story for you, isn't it? Yeah.
So, why did you become a priest?
It's funny, isn't it? It's the sort of question people ask lots of times, don't they? If I'm being naughty, I sort of say, well, why did you marry your husband? Or why did you marry your wife? And people would struggle to sort of say about it, and they'd name little bits and pieces or something. I think there is something. There were people I admired who were priests, and people who I thought, I would like to be like them. They live a good life. They're the sort of person. Some of them were students for the priesthood, and who are, my contemporaries now. Some were priests that we had in the parishes where I was growing up at Our Lady of Lourdes, the parish that you come to Mass at, and that's where I grew up and was ordained. And some of the priests that are there were there who've either died or, one who, strangely for him really, I've become the carer of now, in terms of he's retired now and perhaps in poorer health. So it's sort of things have turned around a bit, and then I guess just a way of life, of sort of caring for people really. I guess I'm less pious perhaps than than others might say about attracted to the priesthood, but about care for people, caring for people, and about people who I admired who were priests. You know.
Very inspiring.
Yeah, who were so. Yeah. I think here in Milton Keynes, you know, where there are a younger group of priests than perhaps there are in other places, I think lots of people would say and feel the same sort of thing. You know, they have an affinity with people. Yeah.
So, do you have any secret talents or party tricks?
I can do one thing.
Ooh.
Okay, I can only do one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do an impression of a pterodactyl.
Oh.
And normally it's jumping off a table and then sort of making this noise. But I can make the noise for you.
Oh, let's
if you
listen.
want.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? There's no jumping off, but okay. Okay, it goes something like this, alright?
That is something. How did you find out you could do that, Father?
It just sort of came, I don't know. Do you reckon you could do it?
I don't
Come on, have a go. See if you can. Come on, let's have a go. See if
let's have a
you
try.
ready? Right.
I'm going to do the wings and everything.
Yeah, no,
as
do
well.
some wings. Do they have wings?
Yeah, I think they
Do they have wings?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on then, let's have a go. Here we go.
I have to say, Father, that was a pitiful.
It was actually.
Compared to you, that's very impressive, Father. I'm sure it's something that you use in your priesthood every single day.
You know, on Dinosaur Sunday, you know, it's normally quite handy to have.
So I have a bit more of a difficult faith-related question here. What part of the faith do you find easiest, and which part do you find hardest to believe?
I find it easiest. I find less difficulty about talking about life after death. Really, next to the church here in Woburn Sands where I am, we have our own cemetery. My dad's buried there as well. And sometimes in an evening, I just kind of wander around and perhaps, I don't know, a short prayer, whatever, maybe glory be to the Father or something, at each one. And there's a real sense of them still belonging to us and us still belonging to them. There's somebody who died on September the 11th at the Twin Towers, and they never found their body, and yet they've a gravestone that they've put there, because it felt really important for them to have a place to come and pray for them, and I stopped there as well. But I guess that comes naturally to me. I feel that I feel close to my dad, so I guess the challenge I find, you know, there are some things that we're committed to as a church, particularly moral sorts of things about, you know, what's important, and yet how that balances with individual people living difficult lives. So, you know, if somebody is divorced and remarried, you know, sometimes the first relationship they were in just wasn't a good one. It wasn't right.
Yeah.
It wasn't right for them. Destructive, you know, sometimes for serious reasons. And in the second relationship, they find everything that they looked for in the first relationship. It's almost as if they found the wrong person first, you know. And somehow I feel that God has to be kind of blessing what they found now. And yet at the same time, I'm committed to the belief we have, the understanding that we have, that the promises we make before God are lifelong promises, you know. And yet how I balance that with, you know, with real people struggling along. I know sometimes as well, I guess, around sexual orientation as well, you know. We discover our sexuality, you know, and yet we have convictions as a church. So I guess they're challenges. I tussle with it, and I think sometimes sometimes I fall on the wrong side of it. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, there are many different nuances in this world we live in today.
Yeah.
And especially as a Christian, a Catholic Christian, it's difficult. It's difficult, especially when situations like the ones you just talked about that can be quite sensitive sometimes, especially in the church.
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes the impression is given of us as a church, and perhaps even we speak at times quite dogmatically as a way of holding up what we believe to be true. But individual people can be trampled or hurt, or, you know, in the process. So I guess that would be the challenge, really, that I find difficult to do, really.
I'm going to bring you back to a more light-hearted
Good.
question.
No, I'm back again now. Do you want to see the pterodactyl again?
For the atmosphere building.
Yeah,
coming up there. So, what's your dream holiday destination?
Oh gosh. Milton Keynes, obviously, is
a beautiful place.
Yeah, I mean, why would you need to go on holiday?
Picturesque.
If you lived in Milton Keynes, there'd be no need to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
A dream holiday destination. I've enjoyed going to the States. I've enjoyed going to America. I lived in Boston for a little bit. I did some study.
Very nice.
Lived there in Boston for a little bit and enjoyed that, and enjoyed New York as well.
So, thank you for joining us on this part of In the Studio, where we grill the priest being Father Francis. So thank you, Father Francis, for being grilled, and we also are looking forward to your autobiography. That's coming out very soon, of course.
I was just thinking I could add "and dinosaurs" on the end of it, perhaps volume 2.
Yeah.
Volume 2.
A major part, that deserves a whole book by itself, just a pterodactyl.
Yeah. Pterodactyls and impressions that I can do.
So thank you very much, and see you later.